was quite a different one. I opened my eyes outward, a substantial influence from being an English major and a French minor. I was even then high in the exploratory spirit, jumping into the unknown in order to explore as a pioneer. I came to the U.S. despite the opposition of my parents and pursued study, this in the pioneer spirit. Her words. This is courageous. This is a strong, independent woman coming to a country, a young single woman, English is not her native language, to go to school, get her next degree, her plan to be a librarian. She would come eventually to Cedar Crest College, where she met my dad, and settle here in Allentown and have a family. Years later, she supported her older brother, Bakyu Kim, and his family's emigration from Korea. He had 3 daughters as well, and they would go on to get an education in the United States and to marry and to have families. This is also part of her legacy. I put together some random notes about her, some you may or may not know. First, a few things that she was not. She was not good at not saying what was on her mind. So there's not much of a filter there. And if you know, you know, right? She was not a knowledgeable sports fan. You know, the Eagles, is this basketball? What sport is it? But she grew into it. I remember she was very engaged with us watching the Phillies win the World Series in 1980. And this is something from her journal after my dad had passed away. She wrote about watching the Beijing Olympics, how she loved the swimming and gymnastics. It reminded her of cheering for Kim at Shepherd Hills swim meets and her Parkettes days. Shepherd Hills Sharks. And she bought a copy of Sports Illustrated with Phelps on the cover with his 8 medals. And she wrote, "Bob, you should be so proud that I have become quite a sports fan." I had no idea she ever bought an issue of Sports Illustrated in her life, so this is all new to me. She was not a good driver. Understandable. She learned to drive around the 1980s. It was a big deal because she had to be able to drive to Kutztown for her new job, working at Kutztown University. It was even a bigger deal because now she could go on her own to Lehigh Valley Mall to shop. Here are some things that she was all about. She loved Impressionist art, Monet, the color purple, chanson songs, the French-style music, Broadway show tunes,